isn't this team anemic? There's just, you can't even get a feeling watching the games at all at this point. I think you just know what's going to happen. It sucks for Cristopher Sanchez that he left the game with a forearm injury. I really hope there's nothing really serious about that forearm tightness, especially in his throwing arm. You never take that, with a grain of salt. It could always mean something that is way worse. I'm sure he'll get an MRI to make sure there's no damage or structural damage or anything that's wrong with the forearm. Oh God, that makes me nervous. And of course, with the way the Phillies are going, I am expecting the worst case scenario with Cristopher Sanchez. He didn't look good. He didn't look good. A lot of full counts. Mets weren't chasing anything, and he just didn't look good. And pitch count got up there, gets taken out, forearm soreness. I really hope it isn't anything serious with Cristopher Sanchez, because if he's gone, oh God, oh God, oh God. But besides that, offense anemic as always. It's basically the MO of this Phillies team for the past few years. I really can't tell you how many times that I'm just saying the same goddamn things every single recap. That's really just what it is. I'm saying the same things every single recap. The offense is anemic, your bullpen sucks, and granted, your bullpen actually, for like the majority of the bullpen, kept you involved in this game, except, of course, when Orion Kerkering comes in a high leverage spot, he blows up and allows a bunch of runs to score. So, once again, you cannot trust Orion Kerkering, and that goes back to the fact that you only have two reliable guys in your bullpen. Even though I will give guys like Joe Ross credit for pitching 3 innings. Who else came out of the bullpen today? That, Romano came out, had a scoreless inning. I'm not going to bash those guys, even though those guys have sucked the entirety of the year. Banks, he wasn't your issue, even though Rob didn't let him finish the inning. Hernandez, blah, 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 blah. I mean, what are you going to do? It was 2-1 for majority of this game. And your offense had a boatload of chances to score some runs. People in the offense that I really can't blame. I can't blame Bryson Stott. The guy's getting on base in the leadoff spot. Alec Boehm had 2 hits. Johan Rojas was the guy that was the only guy that drove in an RBI. That's just fantastic. Just fantastic. Kepler got on base twice today. He was 1 for 2. I'm looking at Trey Turner, I'm looking at Bryce Harper, I'm looking at Kyle Schwarber, I'm looking at Nick Castellanos. Who were the guys that had the boatload of chances with runners in scoring position today? Castellanos had 2 times, Turner had a chance, Schwarber had a chance, Boehm and Rojas were the lone hits with runners in scoring position in today's game. Yeah, Stott had a chance, but I'm not going to put any blame on him. He's doing his job in the fucking leadoff spot. He's getting on base. I mean, what else can I say? This offense is fucking anemic. It really is. I get, like, I feel nothing. I feel nothing watching this team because you just know what the result's going to be. They don't do good in Citi Field, especially with the past, 3-4 years. They just don't have good numbers at Citi Field overall. They're not going to hit there. They're not going to do anything. Their starter has to do 50 billion times the work to even try to keep you involved in the game, and that wasn't even the case today because Sanchez leaves early, and Joe Ross, Romano, your bullpen have to try to keep you in it, and they're doing it for relative sake until Kerkering fucking blows up, and you have chance after chance after chance after chance. You're getting leadoff hitters on basically a lot of the innings in this game, and you can't fucking hit when guys are on base. It's so, like, it's actually like impressive, like how much this team struggles to hit when guys are on base. Like, I actually consider it impressive how much they struggle with that. Like, you accidentally get a hit with runners on base at some point. You can luck into something. This team just doesn't do anything. It's very impressive how much they struggle when the guys get on base. Once that first runner gets on first base, whether it's first base, whether it's second base, let alone a runner in scoring position, they can't hit a lick. They can't hit a lick. They have no issue getting base runners. It's issues that are driving the base runners home. That's what this Phillies team does. When you have 2 runners on in the top of the first inning, nothing happens there. Mets, obviously, they score in the bottom of the first. Cristopher Sanchez does limit the damage, but it's still a 1-0 lead. You do tie it in the top of the second inning after JT's double, Boehm's infield single, Rojas ties it up. Stop fielder's choice, Turner ground out, nothing happens there. Bottom second, Mets instantly take the lead right back. Francisco Lindor has been killing you this series. 2-1 Mets lead. Top three, you go down 1-2-3. Joe Ross into the game, so this is basically when you're getting into your bullpen. Your bullpen did majority of the job, like I said, until Kerkering came into the game. Top four, Kepler with a leadoff single, JT fielder's choice, Bohm and Rojas strike out. Top five, Stott leadoff single, Bryce Harper walk. Schwarber grounds out into a fielder's choice. Castellanos with a runner on second and third base. He strikes out swinging. Good stuff there. Top six, Kepler leadoff walk. Real Muto grounds into a double play. That's his trademark. Bohm 2-out single. Rojas strikes out. Top seven, 1-2-3 inning for your offense. And then the Mets basically blew it open in the bottom of the seventh inning when Orion Kerkering came on the mound because he goes into the count 1-1 against Pete Alonso with 2 outs, and he leaves a fastball just hanging there. Obviously, when it's Orion Kerkering on the mound, he throws 2 fucking pitches. Just wait for something fucking over the plate, whether it's a fastball, whether it's a sweeper. The dude throws 2 pitches. 2 pitches. 2 pitches. Just wait for him to hang something. And that's what he does every single fucking outing that he is in high leverage spots. That's exactly what happened there. Game gets blown wide open. 5-1. Top 8, nothing happens, obviously. Top 9, nothing happens, obviously. I mean, what more do you want? What more could you ask for from this offense? They're doing their best. They're doing their best. Air quotes, obviously. Lineup. Bryson Stott, 2 for 5. I can't put any blame on him. He's doing his job in the leadoff spot. He's batting .301 with a .359 on base. That's a very solid work from your leadoff hitter. Trey Turner, 0 for 4. Bryce Harper, 0 for 3. Kyle Schwarber, 1 for 3. Nick Castellanos, 0 for 4. Max Kepler, 1 for 2 with 2 walks. JT, 1 for 4. Bohm, 2 for 4. Rojas, 1 for 4 with an RBI. The lone RBI in today's game coming from your fucking 9-hole hitter. Phillies went 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position today. They left 9 runners on base. Cristopher Sanchez, before leaving this game, he went 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts on 58 pitches, and he left with forearm soreness. It was forearm soreness or forearm tightness. I'm not sure which way was... I'm not sure which one it was, but it had to deal with the forearm situation, and that makes me nervous. That makes me very nervous. Joe Ross, good for him. 3 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Basically the only one base runner allowed. 51 pitches for him. Good for him. Jordan Romano, 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 16 pitches. Good for him. Tanner Banks, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit. 1 earned run was charged to him thanks to Orion Kerkering. Honest to God, I would have let him complete the inning. Just why? 9 pitches for him. Kerkering comes in, records 1 out, allows 2 runs, should be 3 because, obviously they charged one of the base runners to the other pitcher. And then Hernandez comes in for the 9th inning, 15 pitches, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout for him. And blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. This team is blah. This team is blah. It's not fun watching them. Not one lick. Not one lick. 13-11, while the Mets are 17-7, and they've only lost 1 game at Citi Field. Oh man, this team is not fun to watch. This team is not fun to watch at all. And I'm really waiting to see if there's anything from Cristopher Sanchez's situation. They'll probably say he's dealing with forearm soreness. We'll see where he's at tomorrow. We'll see after he gets an MRI, probably. I'm assuming that's the way. I'm assuming that's going to be the case. So, yeah. I mean, got nothing to say. I got nothing to... This team is so fucking anemic. It's actually, like I said, it's actually impressive how anemic they are. So much blame to go around. Front office, coaching. Does someone get fired? I mean, at this point, you got to try anything, right? You got to try anything, right? I doubt they fire Rob Thompson. Do you fire a hitting coach, even though Kevin Long should have been fired in the offseason, just to get a new voice, a new perspective in the hitting room, a new offensive perspective, a new offensive philosophy? Could be. I don't know. Does John Middleton maybe grow some stones and maybe fires Dave Dombrowski for the horrible job that he did in the offseason? He had 2 jobs. Dave Dombrowski had 2, points on the checklist there, which was to make moves for your bullpen because you lost a lot of leverage in that bullpen. You didn't do anything there. You brought in Jordan Romano, who's coming off of a season-ending injury from last season, and it's blown up in your face. Also, your other move is a waiver claim in Hernandez. You didn't bring in that much for the bullpen. You did not. When there were so many other arms that were way better out there. So many right-handed options, so many left-handed options. Nope, you went into the bargain basket. That's where you went. You went into the lost and found section in whatever department store that you're in. That's where you went. And then your outfield. You didn't upgrade center field. You went into another season once again with a platoon of Brandon Marsh and Johan Rojas, and that's going as much as everybody predicted. And your other move was Max Kepler. And that's not going well for you either. He doesn't look good at the plate. He does not look good at the plate at all. Not at all. I know he has a .337 on base percentage. The dude is not hitting for power whatsoever. He has a .360 slug. The dude is not getting extra base hits. A guy that has been known to hit for some power in this league is not hitting for power. So what's going on there? So another move, another 1-year contract type of guy. What is that, like 3 years in a row, a 1-year contract type of guy for your lineup as a blown up in your face? Josh Harrison, Whit Merrifield, now Max Kepler. Jesus Christ. 0 for 3. 0 for 3. It's not the golden sombrero yet. Imagine it goes over 4. Oof. 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 And now, when you look at everything, how much blame does John Middleton deserve? How much blame does John Middleton deserve? I do see your comment right there, R-Seeker. John Middleton probably told Dave no more spending, and he has until the summer. Did John Middleton limit the resources of the Phillies this offseason? Did he tell Dave not to spend? Did he tell Dave not to do this X amount with money? You can't go out and spend for a big free agent. You can't go out and do X, Y, and Z. You're limited to this. You're limited to that. Because I can't go over the luxury tax as much as we are. Did John Middleton limit the spending? Did John Middleton do that? It's a possibility. For a guy that says he wants to spend money stupidly, for a guy that wants his trophy back as much as possible, for a guy that then complains about the front office for not making any moves at the trade deadline last year, saying that you got to strike while the iron is hot. Oh, go figure. You're probably limiting your front office from doing anything in the offseason. Now, granted, there is truth to what John Middleton said last trade deadline, but how much of that is him just saving face with the fan base? There's criticism to go around all. I'm asking the questions because nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Your coaching staff isn't safe, your players aren't safe, your front office isn't safe, and your ownership isn't safe. I'm sure John Middleton cares. To what extent does he care about? That's the thing. That's the thing. If you cared so much about getting your trophy back, money shouldn't be an issue for you. You should be going out there and spending money like the Dodgers do. Spending money like, Steve Cohen does with the Mets. You should be spending money as much as possible. It shouldn't be an issue. I'm just saying. You should be putting your team in the best possible situations for them to have as many resources as possible. Now, I'm not trying to, take any blame away from Dave Dombrowski. Even with limited resources, you still shouldn't be going into the bargain bin for bullpen pitchers. That's a no-no. Anybody shouldn't be doing that, in my personal opinion. It's not taking away blame from Dave Dombrowski. I'm just figuring where blame should go all around. I think that's the right thing that we should say. Blame should go all around. Not on one specific person, a bunch, a whole grouping, a whole thing should be going around right now. Coaching staff, players, Dombrowski, Middleton, a lot of people. A lot of people. So I don't know. I don't know. Is John Middleton fine with this? Because we haven't heard anything from John Middleton. Granted, it's only April 22nd, so you're probably not going to hear from your owner this early in the season. How much are they going to just keep telling us that it's fine? That it's okay? It's only April. We'll be better. We'll be fine. We'll get out of it. They're probably going to tell us that. They're probably going to tell us that. But I'm sure they're desperate. I'm sure they're shaking in their pants. Their knees are, a little bit flustered. They can't stand up straight watching this team. I don't know how anybody can watch this team and just not see the flaws. Well, Dave Dombrowski doesn't. Dave Dombrowski doesn't. And that's the problem, because I think Dave Dombrowski is a smart baseball mind. He's doing a lot of dumb things. This man has won multiple World Series. Like, what changed coming here? Is it John Middleton telling you to do specific things and you can't do other things? Like, you can't blow up our prospect system because I want sustained success. I don't want a situation where it's 2012 to 2017 where we're one of the basement teams in the league. He wants revenue. He wants people in the seats. He wants at least a team that fights for a playoff spot year after year. That's probably what John Middleton wants. And he doesn't want Dave Dombrowski to pillage everything, because that's what Dave Dombrowski is known to do. I'm just saying, should be talking about John Middleton more. And I'm not saying that to take blame away from everybody else. I'm saying to put blame as well on John Middleton. Put him as well on John Middleton. I'm just putting that out there. Putting that out there because I think it should be talked about way more than it is. And granted, Dave Dombrowski deserves all the criticism that he's getting. It's very warranted. I feel like the person that probably deserves the least criticism is Rob, because Rob can only do so much with what he's given with the roster. Now, granted, he tries different things with the lineup. Realistically, the only person he hasn't used is Cody Clemens. He can only do so much with this bullpen. He really can't. He has to go to certain guys. He can't just keep using Matt Strom and Jose Alvarado. This is what I got. I have to put someone like a Joe Ross here. I got to put Tanner Banks out there. I got to put Jordan Romano out there. I got to put Orion Kerkeren out there. I mean, he's working with the situation that he has, and I really can't put much blame on Rob. Now, granted, yes, does Rob let some pitchers still stay out there way too long when you should go and yank them? Probably. But I think Rob is probably the least of the blame here. He probably does deserve a little bit of it, but I think Rob has tried to show some, I guess, urgency with, the way that he's been flip-flopping the lineup, especially for through the first few weeks of the season. Like, it's really just front office perspective. Like, that's what I need. That's what I want to know. Like, how do you go into this season where offensively has been your issue and your offense going cold in playoff runs and you don't fire your hitting coach? I'm not saying everything is Kevin Long's fault. I still think Kevin Long is a very good hitting coach, and if you do fire Kevin Long, another team will go and scoop him up instantly. It's just a new voice. It's just a new philosophy. It's just a new everything. Just get a new philosophy in there. Just get a new voice. Maybe the same voice that's just in the locker room for so long is just wearing thin. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I'm trying to find answers. I'm trying to grasp for points. And there's like so many points that are just like floating around here in the space that I'm just trying to pick and choose which points that I want to think about, because there's just way too many things to talk about with this team and how bad it's gotten. When in the offseason you're floating around Alec Boehm and he has no value in the world, yet you still keep him on the roster. And of course, the mental side of Alec Boehm is showing once again. How did you expect that not to backfire in your face? You're floating this guy in the trade market. He's one of the most talked about guys that, oh yeah, Philadelphia is definitely waving him out there on the trade market. They're trying to move him. Oh, you brought him back. Oh, you brought him back. And there's still some signs of immaturity. Oh yeah, that definitely didn't backfire in your face. Oh yeah, we're trying to, even though I don't believe the dangling Bowman Castellanos for Kyle Tucker is anything truth to it, in my personal opinion. You didn't try hard enough. Didn't try hard enough. You believe in this, your false belief in this team so many times. It's just come back to burn you every single year. Your constant belief in this team is going to figure it out, going to figure it out, going to figure it out. You're relying on basically luck and getting hot at the right time. Just can't, you can't run an organization like that. You can't run a team like that. When you see flaws in a team, you gotta try to fix the flaws, not make them worse, not let it stagnate. You didn't even attempt to fix the flaws. You just tried to patch it. Specifically the bullpen flaws, you tried to patch it. The outfield flaws, you tried to patch it. It's not work, and it's barely even patched. It's one of those, I don't even know like what type of adhesive you can even put on that's like very bad at its job. Fucking hell, like what would you even put on there? Like it's like you're taping a napkin to a cut. Taping a napkin to a gunshot wound or something like that. I don't even know if that's even a good analogy. I'm just trying to think of how poorly of a job you've done patching the holes. That's what Dave Dombrowski does in his Phillies regime. Jesus Christ. Like, it's that bad. It is that bad. And the more I look on here just to see if there's anything on Cristopher Sanchez, I don't think I've seen anything yet. A lot of the stuff on my Twitter is basically just NHL related. Got the Stanley Cup playoffs on in front of me. I got the split screen on YouTube TV with Toronto and Ottawa in overtime, and then the Florida Panthers and the Lightning are in the second intermission, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, that's fun at least. Nope, I have not seen anything on Cristopher Sanchez. No one has said anything yet. Or it's nothing newsworthy. So, I don't know if we're going to see anything until tomorrow with Cristopher Sanchez. I don't know. I physically don't know. Just gotta wait and see, I guess. And who's on the mound tomorrow? Tomorrow's an afternoon tilt. I believe it's a 1 o'clock game, if I'm not... Yeah, 1 o'clock game, 1:10. Zach Wheeler against David Peterson. Oh, yeah, we're not winning that game. Sorry, Zach. We're not scoring any runs for you. Not scoring any runs for you, my guy. Not scoring any runs. So, yeah, we're not hitting David Peterson. How many times did we face David Peterson last year and didn't score off him? Let's see. Let's go to 2024, David Peterson. In the playoff appearances that he had against the Phillies, he went scoreless in both of those situations. He had 2 games against the Phillies in September. He allowed 5 runs against the Phillies in those 2 starts. And those were the only times he faced the Phillies. Those were the only times he faced the Phillies. So yeah, sorry, Zach. You're not winning. You're not winning tomorrow. Most likely getting swept. I'd be shocked if they win tomorrow. I'd be shocked. And then they have an off day on Thursday. Thank the Lord they have a fucking off day. And then this weekend, everybody in Philadelphia will be too paying attention to the NFL draft. So no one's going to even care about this series in Chicago against the Cubs. Well, Friday is an afternoon game, so people will probably have no more choices to watch that one. Saturday is also an afternoon one, and then Sunday is national television, so joy. Joy with that. At least for Friday, I can watch Friday Night SmackDown and the NFL draft in peace. Jesus. My God. Garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage that this team is. Garbage. 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 It's garbage. It's garbage. My God. I don't even know where to even go here, boys. I don't even know. It's not an Eagles situation. There's no bye week that this team can just magically sit down and fix all of their issues. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. The Eagles situation was just a rare opportunity that the team thrived on. And they changed themselves. You can't do that in baseball. You can't do that in baseball. You'll throw the Washington Nationals in 2019 out there? Yeah, it's a once-in-a-blue-moon situation then. Phillies aren't that type of team, in my personal opinion. They're not that type of team. 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 Ugh. Am I being too harsh on John Middleton? Yeah, I understand some other Major League Baseball teams that have owners that just refuse to spend money. I'm not saying John Middleton refuses to spend money. I think he refused to spend it to a certain extent. I think he limited his team's resources because he didn't want to go over the luxury tax as much as he was. Oh, look, Toronto scored in overtime. Max Domi. Take a 2-0 series lead. Good for them. Good for them. I don't think I'm being too harsh on John Middleton. You have a team that's expecting a championship, and blame should go everywhere. I think, in my personal opinion. Because owners that spend in baseball, they have their hands on things. They have their hands in certain situations. They have their hands in certain decisions. John Middleton has his hands in certain decision making as well. I think he kind of limited this team a little bit, and that's not taking away blame from anybody else. I think he just needs to share some of the blame. Not all of it. I think he needs to share of it, a share of the blame. Because I don't think he's being fully truthful to us, personally. I think he cares about... This is really what I think his plan is. Okay, we're going to hold off on spending money this year. We're going to wait for some money to come off the books. We got some young guys coming up from the prospect system. We'll flush in some youth. We'll flush out some contracts that are expiring. And then once that youth comes in, we'll go out and spend some more. We'll add to this roster once again. I feel like that's his philosophy. Personally, I do. I think that's his philosophy. Because he doesn't want a situation where it's 2012 to 2017 again, where this team was just untalkable and unwatchable. But we had no choice but to watch them because they were the only team on in the summer. It was basically just, okay, get us to football season. Get us to football season, Phils. That's what they were from that stretch and period of time. I don't think John Middleton wants that again. I think you're hampering your team a little bit, though, in my personal opinion. Yeah, bullpen arms shouldn't put you over the luxury tax, but I think John Middleton was too afraid. Personally. I think John Middleton was just too afraid to spend more. No wonder why he brought in more investors and all that stuff. Just so he had more money. That's what I believe, at least. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a terrible philosophy from John Middleton's perspective, but it's just like, don't you want to max out Harper's contract? Max out the possibilities? It's not a flawed mindset of, yeah, when you see a team's window closing, maybe that's what John Middleton saw. Maybe he does see this team window closing, and he wants to flush out the bad and then infuse something else. I don't know. I don't know. If the team's still competitive, people will still go. People will still go. People will still bring their families. People will still go. If you're still a competitive team, the ballpark will still be filled to the most part. To the casual fan, the people that don't look as deep as we do, to the casual people, they'll still be going. As long as they see a team that is competing for a playoff spot, the casual people will go. And that's a lot of the people that go to Citizens Bank Park. A lot of the casual. Oh yeah, Dave Dombrowski. Long done. This probably will be his last year in the Phillies executive. Don't know who you bring in. Do you pluck somebody from a different organization? Do you pluck somebody younger? I don't know. 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 Only thing I could tell you is it's very annoying. It's sad watching this team. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. Very sad. We do have a voicemail here. I think we have a couple of voicemails, actually. On Anytime Hotline. Might as well get to those before we end this off, because I am very tired. Even though I still got to work late editing a little bit for Brodes. So yeah, let's get to our first caller. This one is very short. I think he left it in the middle of the game. So let's hear what this person got to say.
Hey, Amadeo, I'm going to keep it short here. This team fucking blows. Goodbye.
I feel that. Nice, short, sweet, simple to the point. I like it. I like it. Yeah, you're right. This team fucking blows. oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I don't think Dave Dombrowski's going to retire. I think he's still waiting for a Nashville baseball team. If there's a team that ever moves to Nashville, which honestly could be very happening soon, you never know if Tampa Bay moves. You never know if one of these other cities that's always on the thread of moving. You never know. Oakland already moved. They're going to Vegas. Tampa might be next. Tampa might be the team that moves to Nashville. So, if there's a team that moves to Nashville, I think Dave Dombrowski will be right up that alley. Let's go to Zach. Final call.
Another lifeless performance from your Philadelphia Phillies. It continues. The struggle is really just snowballing right now. The main concern, other than everything, is Cristopher Sanchez. Hopefully it's more precautionary than anything because you can't afford to lose starting pitching. It's the only good aspect of this baseball team right now. The offense is piss poor. I can't give you a ton of insight because I turned it off fairly early, probably fourth or fifth inning. I was just like, no, I'm not watching this shit again. I'm going to watch playoff hockey. But man, the bullpen stinks. You're outside of two arms, Matt Strong and Jose Alvarado, you have nobody. Bunch of nobodies. And I don't even know at this point what you're going to be able to do. You know, the only two, like, you got to trade for an outfielder and you got to go get like David Robertson or something. But this team's issues, it's an organizational issue. It's not going to, just resolve itself. You bring in one or two, good players. I don't know, man. This team is look defeated. They're failing. It's embarrassing and it's sad. And what's really sad is that we're not even that deep into the season. And I just already feel really bad about this baseball team. All right, well, go Phils, I guess. Peace.
I sense the struggle when trying to say that. I do. I sense the struggle there. Update here on Cristopher Sanchez from Todd Zalecki. Cristopher Sanchez said based on initial exams, he's confident his forearm soreness isn't serious, although he said he's never experienced anything like this in a game before. Rob Thompson said they could rework the rotation next week to give Sanchez extra rest. We will know more on Wednesday, and this is also from Phillies Tailgate. Rob Thompson said postgame that Cristopher Sanchez saw the doctor and they're not expecting any type of structural damage to his forearm. It is only tightness. Phillies will reevaluate Cristopher Sanchez over the next few days. Always thinking of the worst case scenario. That goes along in my head. Personally. And here's a positive prospect update for you guys. Jeff Kerr, this is 3 hours ago. Aiden Miller in his last 7 games is hitting .360 over that span. A home run, 2 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. Can he come up now? Even though that would be very unfair to Aiden Miller. That'd be very unfair to Aiden Miller. Yeah. Pain and misery. That's all it is. Pain and misery. Pain and misery. What it is. I think we had did we have a text message in here? I don't think we did. We might have. Oh, here, yeah, we did have a text message. It was from the guy that left the shorter call earlier. We should be paid to watch the dog shit. A tree could produce better offensively than this Phillies lineup. Oh, man. Oh, man. Pain and misery. That's all it is. That is all it is. Probably Sean didn't leave a call. Rightfully, Sean probably didn't put himself through this game. Man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Sorry, I was texting somebody. I don't know. Mario, I told y'all their window was close when they lost to the Astros that year. Was their window. Don't remember you saying that. Don't remember you saying that at all. Their best year was 23. Technically, their window just started in 22, so you really couldn't say that was their final window. I don't even know if Mario's a Phillies fan. I think he's just another fan that watches. Could be a Braves fan, honestly, all I care about. But I appreciate you, Mario, for joining in the chat as always, when you do in the Blue Moon. I enjoy everybody that joins in here. Pain and misery. That's what the Phillies are. Pain and misery. That's all it is. Pain and misery. Pain, 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 pain. That's all it is. That's all it is, pain and misery. Rob Thompson says Ranger Suarez will make his next rehab start on Sunday, so he is not coming up if Sanchez needs to be out of the rotation. Thompson says they can shuffle the rotation around if need be because of the off day on Thursday. Okay. Whatever you say, Rob. Whatever you say. Sadly, my cat from last night does not want to come in here and give me therapy. I'm sorry that you have to go through this in the stream about this team every day, but we are in it together, brother. Hey, the one good thing about the Phillies being bad is that it brings in the views, baby. It brings in the views. Phillies are bad, it gives you views. If a Philadelphia sports team is bad, it gets you views. Good, really good, or bad. No in between. If you're mediocre, you're not going to get views. So I guess that's the one positive as a coping mechanism right there. That is a big cope mechanism. Big cope. Big cope. And every time I think of cope, I just think of fucking Copeland and AEW, even though it's fucking just fucking Edge from WWE. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus, I'm losing it. I am losing it. This team fucking stinks. 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 No, freaking. Wait, I'm trying to change the YouTube thing on my TV to see if I can get 2 games on here again. Is that just ESPN2 or is that just regular ESPN? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, that is regular ESPN, so I'm fine with keeping the. No, why did it? God damn it. Now I'm backing out of my freaking YouTube TV. God damn it, people. God damn it, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. The Phillies, they make me a mess. I'm assuming that multi-view is not existent anymore, right? That's annoying. That is annoying. Where is ESPN2? Where is ESPN2? Where is ESPN2 at? Where's the Tampa game? Where's the... I guess I can't watch them both now, even though I think Florida's going to end up winning that one. I think it's like 5-2 or 5-3 or something like that. Whatever. Whatever. I'm rambling here. Yeah, it's 5-2 right now. It's 17 minutes left in the period. So there's a chance. Do got another text right here before we close it out. Painter is the only thing I'm looking forward to this year. Howie season Thursday. WWE is on fire. Oh, you're not focused on Aiden Miller or anything like that. Just Andrew Painter. Can't blame me though. Can't blame me though. So, I think that'll do it, everybody. I appreciate you. This is therapy session, boys. Here's another update from Matt Gelb. With the Phillies starting a lefty on Wednesday afternoon, expecting the Phillies to activate Weston Wilson from the IL to start in left field, Cody Clemens could be the odd man out. Well, poor Cody Clemens. Dude barely gets used, and he's probably going to get DFA'd. So, if he even has any options left, I have no idea. He probably does not. So, that's your last update there, people. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Does me a good deal of service. You can also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off the first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Also, leave a follow at TTP Sports on TikTok and Instagram. It's a therapy session, people. It's what we're made for. Therapy session. It's going to be a lot of those this year. A lot. A lot of those.